cops, including the sheriff, are already involved in preventing me from turning in my predators. The sheriff is already aware that I'm being stupid and cutting me off and threatening and harassing and intimidating me. They already had a plan. And that situation shows collusion. It shows that after they got busted committing felonies, they figured they'd add some more felonies to it. Well, that's stupid. Whatever happened to cops using their brains? Anyway, see, that's the thing, is that the police, Josh's words show collusion with the officers and the people at First Step. It shows the police already knew what they were doing and that they did it knowingly, willingly, and intentionally, and they conspired to do so, to slander my name, to have me harmed in this town, and it has worked. And yesterday morning, I literally went in there and let him know about the situation with the cops right after the situation with the cops happened. That happened while I was there. They came to harass me about that. You also get to see that they chose while I was otherwise occupied to try to come in and start their shit. Now, that officer better have had his body camera on. What are the chances that they'll do everything they can to hide that body camera? The chances are pretty damn good, actually. So Josh admitted that they had a meeting, that lady was, well, basically she was coached into pretending. See, I don't give a shit if you're afraid of me. That's your fault. That's your stupidity. That's your ignorance. That's your choice. It was her choice to start playing stupid as soon as she knew that officers were involved. She wasn't interested in doing the right thing at any point in time. Now, he was speaking about Brandy. The last lady that I spoke with there was Ash Lee. So let's play that for you. Let's play this big dangerous thing that I did, apparently. Whatever it is that she's afraid of. You know what? Harming somebody just because you are a fucking paranoid goddamn nut job is fucking evil, you pieces of shit. On the bright side, you got busted. And thanks to Josh. This attack on my person and my character was coordinated, just like it was in Chapel, Nebraska. See, the thing is that all these Clatsop County things that they keep sending me to, I've been on the phone with them from Tillamook, because Tillamook wanted to force me to come here to Clatsop County. Wanted to force me to go to Portland, wanted to bully me into leaving, the same as these asswipes are. I'm going back to Tillamook. I'm not a bitch. I'll fucking face my shit, motherfuckers. You're the fucking cowards here. Man. So I suppose we should start off with the last time that I spoke with those people, and then we'll work our way forward to Chris. Or, sorry, not Chris, Josh. I'm horrible with names. All right, let's see. YouTube. See, these guys thought that because I was offline that I wasn't functional, that I wasn't recording anything at all. But, of course I was. Before we go to that, we're going to go to the gallery. This is the gallery. See that? We're going to scroll down here a bit, and we're going to start off at the very first and last time I spoke to these people. I jumped through the hoops they wanted. Let's see, I believe it is this one here. Now, before I press play on this, here's the situation. I was talking to these ladies. They were claiming that they don't just help autistic children, that anybody who's disabled, adults or children. And I sat down and I started telling them my story and what help I needed. And they were on board and on page, sort of, when I started telling them about the situation with Natalie. They kind of sort of understood, sort of. Then the officer showed up. And when he showed up, he came in claiming that I was wanted for questioning in a murder. No, he didn't do that because I was wanted for questioning in a murder. He did that to harass me. He did it to intimidate me. He did it intentionally to cut me off from help. And then in this part, this is after he's left, because I had to let him know it was inappropriate for him to do that, for him to come in and sell a false narrative and abuse his power to make sure that I was not heard by those people. After he left, they wouldn't hear a word I had to say. They were very standoffish. By standoffish, I mean playing stupid and trying to pawn me off on someone else. That officer knew exactly what he was doing. Now they wanted me to go to a bunch of stuff in Astoria. I got to turn in crimes that were committed here, and they're sending me to Astoria. I don't get it. They always want to push me to go somewhere else once they realize I'm trying to turn in police. What a bunch of cowards. Anyway, I'm just letting them know that the numbers they pawned me off on didn't work.
Hey, Brandy.
Both of them places you sent me are closed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it might be a good idea to hang out in that area because they both open at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
They both open at 9 a.m.
The
tomorrow.
the police and the other homeless people. But yeah. I'll probably end up heading up there, but they said the library, that the internet stays on, and that as long as I'm not living there, it's alright if I stay there pretty late to try to work on anything on the computer. In my car, of course, because they close at 5. Other than that, the situation with the cop coming and talk to me, that was weird.
Because we're so close, they do come by here often.
Well, he came in, he knew my name, and was asking about a situation that he got completely wrong, but the only people I've talked to about was you guys. So, I mean, it's weird that he would come in and tell me that some guy called him.
Yeah, I don't know, but if you were here tomorrow, he would probably still be coming by.
You know, she can't even fucking... Just like Claire was saying, all right? Now we're going to play something with Claire. She was here too. You know, she couldn't even say that without laughing. The officer didn't just stop by. He stopped in, addressed specifically, engaged with me specifically, lied to my face about a situation that did not happen. Whether or not he got a call, I don't care. The fact is, he showed up there specifically with the intent and purpose of doing what? Of cutting me off from resources. Of intentionally antagonizing me and the situation. Of intentionally lying about the situation to antagonize me and intimidate others. Yes, it is intimidating to lie about somebody and tell them that somebody else is some sort of a monster. See, this is all stuff that's predictable. She couldn't even say that without fucking laughing. Let's rewind it a few seconds.
Completely wrong, but the only people I've talked to about was you guys. So, I mean, it's weird that he would come in and tell me that some guy called him.
Yeah, I don't know, but if you were here tomorrow, he would probably still be coming by.
But it's the fact that he knew my name and was talking to me about a situation. If I'd been able to record it, that would be better.
See, she's just going to keep on interrupting me.
That the internet stays on, and that as long as I'm not living there, it's alright if I stay there pretty late to try to work on anything on the computer. In my car, of course, because they close at 5. Other than that, the situation with the cop coming and talking to me, that was weird.
Because we're so close, they do come by here often.
Well, he came in, he knew my name, and
She's trying not to laugh, and
asking
she's
about a
smiling a little bit.
situation that he got completely wrong. But the
Try
only
not
people I
to.
talked to about was you guys. So I mean, it's weird that he would come in and tell me that some guy called him.
Yeah, I don't know, but if you were here tomorrow, he would probably still be coming by.
But it's the fact that he knew my name and was talking to me about a situation. If I'd been able to record it, that would be better. It could be.
Yeah. I think
She's just
that's
digging for any
pretty
excuse.
standard.
It's not
cop to
standard.
run here.
It's not standard for them to come and harass somebody like that. It's either they got a call from somebody who's elsewhere, or they got a call from somebody who's here. The thing with my name and with the situation with Natalie, I get that harassment everywhere I go by cops.
Yeah.
If I don't have the ability to record it, it's not safe for me to talk to them. I don't have a parent or a guardian or an advocate.
And she knew this already.
With turning anything into the police. So for me to even talk to them is unsafe.
Let me see what is still open.
Obviously, collusion.
I think that class at behavioral health is still open.
So she's going to try to pawn me off on behavioral
Another one
health.
that I put on your list.
What are they going to do, though?
They're open till 5.
But what do they do?
Now, this is the only time I talked to them was on the 5th when that officer came in there, and I need to get his body cameras. Officer Holloway. She couldn't even do it without laughing.
They offer mental health community-based services. Supported employment program, peer support.
So they provide literally nothing but drug addicts for help. That's what peer support amounts to in Oregon. Is somebody who's strung out on heroin usually, and then they call that peer support. It's
Laura Moran
They're
in Hood
supposed to
River.
be professionals.
The guy who hit Jamie in the video game again.
The problem is that I'm not able to access any of that because I'm literally running around spending all my money getting absolutely nowhere but broke. I'm putting a lot of wear and tear on my vehicle. I'm putting a lot of wear and tear on my body, and I can't turn my disabilities off to make everyone happy. And the problem is I can't jump through the hoops that I'm expected to because of abuse. I can't financially afford this. I can't physically afford this. I can't mentally afford this. And I don't have the time to jump through all this, to hurry up and wait everywhere I go for everybody to give me a lift to begin with, as well as 8 other places for each one, or 6 other places, or 5 other places, or whatever. This is overwhelming having to do this alone. I try to explain what it's like having to live in my car, and people blow that off and hear their own thing in their head. I'm exhausted with this. This has been 7 years. I was told if I jumped through these hoops that I'd get disability and these people would stop, but that's not what happened. Instead, I finally did get disability, but I got it just in time for a whole bunch of people to want to take advantage of the fact that I had an income. There's nobody who protects me from this, and I get blown off at every service that I go to, because if I talk calmly, then people don't think there's a problem. If I have a major anxiety attack over them not paying attention to the fact there's a major problem, it turns into me being treated like I'm some sort of a monster or animal because I'm not being heard. And I can't explain the bullies that bullied me to the point that I want my life to end without people locking me up in a mental facility pretending that I'm attempting to kill myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop bullies, not kill myself. I'm trying to get a safe place for me to go. And everybody keeps wanting to run me around and send me to a bunch of homeless shelters. If you ever stayed in a homeless shelter, it's horrible.
I'm really sorry. She's gonna bullshit me.
Officer's name was Holloway, right?
Yes. I did write it down on your paper too.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the last time I was in their building. That's the last time I talked to any of them. That was on the 5th. They had a meeting 2 days ago about harassing me. This is after how long of trying to get that from Holloway, trying to turn in Holloway. Now, we should probably, before we continue with that, although we do want to establish the timeline, we need to listen to Claire. All right? We need to listen to Claire Jordan again. And that's what we're going to do.
I'm in one of the canyons, so I just have to get all the way back up to Estes where I work. Anyway, yeah, I absolutely understand those situations, and I'd love to testify about it because I had so many situations where basically, like, it's like the Stanford prison experiment on a massive scale out there. It's fucking disgusting. People drive people to madness over, like, power and control. Like, they really get a kick out of controlling the homeless population out there, but then they don't actually want to do anything about it, and so they just push people until they break. And then when they break, they're like, oh, see, this is why you can't function in society. It's like, oh, okay, so you're going to torture me for 4 months, use all my resources, send me in endless loops to go check out other resources, other places until I have less than I started with, take away every basic necessity of living and comfort, Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs, man, like no shelter, no food, yeah, people are going to lose their shit. And you start treating people like they have less than animal rights, you're going to end up with a lot of people that are basically gone feral, and now you're cornering them and threatening them. Of course they're going to fight back. That's not a mental health problem. That's torture.
Yep.
My problem is that the state that my ex left me in, and his, landlord or whatever, I couldn't quite form proper sentences, and I kept having heat stroke, so I'm really not even sure if the words that I thought I was saying were the words coming out of my mouth. And I can't tell because no one cared to pay attention enough. So I could have, I thought I was saying stuff like, I need an ice pack before I have a seizure, I need water, I'm having heat stroke, and I need help. And I would say that over and over and over, and they'd be like, ma'am, you need to calm down or I'm calling the cops. And then they would stare at me with, like, a weirdly smug smile, like, what are you even saying? And it's really disturbing because some of these, like, emergency workers and mandatory reporters are supposed to be trained to see something like that. Like, this basic shit. Like how to recognize a stroke, or, somebody having a health crisis, not a mental crisis, or, like somebody starts speaking gibberish and half their face isn't moving. Maybe you should get them to the fucking ER instead of laughing at them and being like, well, if you don't want my help, I'm out of here, which is what happened to me in Vancouver, Washington in a fucking parking ride.
Like I said, she's been to the same place as I have. Right now she's at risk because she's in Larimer County.
I absolutely know that I have brain damage from multiple rounds of heat stroke because people were denying even so much as water to to people that looked homeless.
This is not a lie.
That's
It's
insane.
absolutely true.
There's states where that's illegal to deny somebody a glass of water. And so it just kind of blew my fucking mind that people were just like torturing the homeless population to the point where they break, and then like, you know, just modifying their own memory, I guess. Like, oh, they were always like that. See, that's why we don't help you. It's like, yeah, but, you know, you could go 4 fucking months holding your shit together and functioning like a normal person, politely trying to seek out resources for, you know, not to be homeless and, you know, living in a hotel or whatever. And then if you're acting well put together, then they act like you must just be lazy or trying to calm them. And so they don't want to help you because you're not in crisis enough. And then when you finally hit crisis enough, they call the police because now you're just acting crazy. Or, you know, like here in Colorado, I was told that I was going to get some help. I got all the paperwork they asked for. I showed up. I made, you know, promises with the hotel that I was staying at that they were going to get a payment from this local resource. And I show up like an hour before I'm supposed to have this all done, you know, with one last piece of paper that they asked for, and suddenly they had changed their mind and decided that they had things that they thought were a better idea for my family, except for they didn't. The things that they suggested were so overly complicated and worse, and would make things worse for me and my children, and that it was mind-blowing. And so then I spent 45 minutes talking to this director about it and hammering out the details, and then finally coming back around again to the point where it was like, oh yeah, just a hotel voucher would actually be the best thing. And this lady jumps in, she's like, okay, well, I still think that my idea is better, and that's what we're going to go with. And I had a freaking autistic meltdown about it because, like, it instantly made me feel suicidal because their suggestions, instead of a hotel voucher to bridge a little bit of a gap for me, was to put the kids in foster care, go into a safe house, quit my job so that I could go into this specific shelter. And I was just like, well, why would I do that for 2 weeks and then try to pick up all the pieces after quitting my job? Are you insane? So, hang on a second. Anyway, I had an autistic meltdown about it, which is what I did in Tillamook, you know, after trying to tell my story, like, in 45-minute chunks, and then having,
multiple places.
you know, realized after 45 minutes of talking to somebody that they haven't been listening to a damn thing that I'm saying, you know, and having that multiple times in a row and blowing away a whole day or 3 to do it, like, you know,
or a whole month.
It's hard to even function. It's hard to track. Like, I get so worked up about it, just thinking about it, that I lose where I'm at talking about things. But then in the office up here in Colorado, like, I was like, God, you're making me suicidal. I just want to drive off a cliff. You're not paying attention. And they're like, oh, you said the S word. And they called the cops, and I swear to God, like 10 of them showed up to, like, talk about
That's all they care
why
about.
I'm causing a scene. And I was like, because I just wasted 4 hours of my day trying to explain something to somebody, only to have them pull the rug out from underneath me and basically prove that they weren't listening in the fucking first place, because what they responded with had nothing to do with anything that I said.
Yep.
I had to go get my children from Florida myself because no agency would get back to me. I had to drive all the way to Florida and pick them up. They were covered in bugs, bruises, severely neglected. One of my dogs already died from what looks like chemical exposure, and then the second little dog was, you know, on her last legs, losing teeth and massive patches of hair. So, you know, I just got them back like a month ago. I'm still trying to figure out how to help them with their PTSD. I have massive PTSD. I have to make my kids the priority because they're my responsibility. I'd be more than happy to go in with you and go in on it with you to say, yeah, these things are happening, and here's what happened to me, and here's what happened to him, and that's how it's, would have to go. But as far as just going in with you, like, I'm in Colorado, so I can't walk in, so I'm not really sure how much help I can be, and then it would also be extremely triggering for me, dealing with a lot of mental damage. And
The thing is, I'm not the only one. I have hundreds of people recorded going through the same thing. The situation they were telling me about Helping Hands, Josh here talks about that too. Helping Hands doesn't help us. $400 a month? How can I afford that on $822 a month disability? Plus, I have nobody to help me out with that paperwork. As always. Now, since we've heard Claire talk about many of the same things that I spoke about, this treatment is immoral and it's illegal. And after we go through this, I'm going to go to the end and we're going to show what a lot of these different laws are. A lot of the laws that these mandated reporters broke to try to cover for their buddies. As far as me harassing people in town, no, I've been trying to get justice here in town. Justice. Let's see what's next. Let's see. I've used this to find a couple of my videos before, although I don't have it attached to my account. So, the video with Ryan in it, by the way, that's pretty important. We're going to play a couple of them from Ryan because he is a witness to this situation, a witness that I'm trying to get help, and a witness to really how many people are afraid of these people. Now I'm going to play some short selections of some of these videos. That's pretty important. We're going to play a couple of them from Ryan because he is a witness to this situation, a witness that I'm trying to get help. All right, cool. Apparently we're on a delay here. That works. I guess we'll go to live. The video from the other day, right after Wednesday, and we're going to hear from Josh what happened on Wednesday at the city meeting. Also, as soon as I'm able to get those recordings from, well, I might be able to do that tonight, depending on how much my car wants to overheat. I might be able to get my computer up and running long enough to play those videos while I record on this phone here. We'll see about doing that too. Let's see. Chemically inducing schizophrenia in police victims. That's not the one we're looking for. Claire's idea of help puts us all at risk, and it does, but we gotta try to get something done. All right. All right, this one right here is after Wednesday. This is yesterday, Thursday, right after they had the collusion meeting where they decided to slander me to a whole bunch of people to make sure that I would be harassed, threatened, and of course more people would join in on trying to push me out of town. Their deputies have repeatedly threatened, harassed, and intimidated me for trying to turn them in, as well as their dispatch taking part in this bullying and harassment and threats. So they colluded with one another. The sheriff is aware that this is going on. Now, is he going to play stupid when I go in to turn in what's happened? Is he going to talk over me and tell me something else happened than what is actually recorded? Very likely. Obviously, those officers that I was supposed to talk to did everything in their power to make sure that they didn't do their jobs. Same thing with the sheriff's department. These guys are screwed. So this is yesterday morning after the collusion meeting. Nope, that ain't it, is it? No, that's not it. Hold on. My apologies for getting the wrong video. This is the one I was after.
Well, I haven't been back. I left there. There was a safety issue, and I left. You coming and harassing me over those people
He
is
is
not okay.
harassing me.
I left. I haven't been back in 3 days. I haven't tried to go back. I'm not interested in going back. You are harassing me. It is not appropriate for you to come do this here.
They asked me to.
Now, what is your name?
My last name is Burns.
All right. Can I get your card?
I don't have any right now, but they're at the police department.
See, there he wanted to get a bit of an attitude, and then he wanted to, well, they shouldn't be at the police department. They should be in his pocket. Burns. And who's this other doucher with him?
Now, these are the guys I'm trying to turn in, this department. This is what they do when you try to turn them in.
You're forced to turn them into themselves, and then
Mandated
they
reporters
harass
breaking
you.
the law and taking it to disabled people. As you can tell, there are 2 officers there. We're going to get out and we're going to make sure that we film them both as they back out of the vehicle or out of the parking lot. You see how inappropriate this is?
I tell them it's not appropriate to talk to me till I'm recording. They came and harassed me over First Steps. That's that lady Ashley I was speaking with when she called Brandy in. By the way, Josh knows all these people. He's the manager of the library. I was actually starting to make this video when they showed up and pulled their crap. Here's Ryan.
All right, it is. So why do you think it is most people do this stuff again?
Because
He
The
froze
whole
up.
being afraid of the police. Are you afraid of them?
yeah, because they like to use their power. They abuse it. They don't protect and serve like what it says. They abuse and abuse. You know, it's not right. And I feel like there's some good cops, yes, but they all are under the same system, which is bad. And they don't know that. And there's
They
some
do
good
know that.
people. They try and they try, but they just get called crazy and they get dropped to the ground, and it doesn't make sense because everybody wants to do something, they say, but they don't do it. They just make it worse for people who have problems like us, like me, like anybody else, you know? Like, it's stupid.
Nobody wants to help anybody else, and if they do, their idea of helping is talking over them or you're mentally ill.
Yeah, exactly. Or they just, they don't want to hear. They just assume. They won't. It's stupid because nobody ever wants to help. They always say they do, but when it comes down to it, oh nope, I can't do it.
So are you too afraid to go in and talk with me?
No, I'm not afraid. They can't really do anything to me. They've already done too much.
See, we got to stick up for each other and look out for each other, or we all take the shaft. All right, I'll probably see you at 1. I'll make a funny face at you because you'll probably be working.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan.
Of course.
All right. Well,
That was yesterday as well. Ryan was going to come in. This one right here, recording for my safety from First Steps in Law Enforcement. When I walk somewhere, I literally, after they harass me,
There, of
I make
course,
sure that I
the first
record when
step.
I go somewhere.
Now, of course, I gotta record
If they're going to
this
play victim, I'm going to make sure there's
just
recordings so
because
they know
people start
beyond any shadow
pretending
of a doubt there
like
was
they're
no
victims
funny
and they
business.
realize I'm trying to tell them for breaking the law. Well, I ain't gonna listen to me. They're gonna call me mentally ill. This place didn't care to help me because I told on people that they work with, the police. They know these police officers well. So when these officers commit felonies, first steps is first to help.
Now, isn't that lovely? Obviously, I'm on the opposite side of the street. They kiss my ass. You're going to make it so that I have to literally record the situation for my safety, because if not, you're just going to lie. Well, it's a good thing I already recorded it, isn't it? Of course it is. Then what happens? This is yesterday also. To me and started harassing me and cursing at me. It took me a minute to get this thing going. I need help. I need help in this kind of harassment. This man pulled over. I'm literally at the library in this video. At the library. In this video and the last one. The one where I spoke to the police right after their collusion meeting. Where was that? That was also at the library. While the library was open. They did the same thing there that they did at Walmart. The same thing that they did over there at First Steps, and it works. You show up and you try to make the business owners or the other people there feel uncomfortable, because obviously if the cops are talking to a guy, he must have done something wrong. Someone calling themselves the Funny Pro X typed hi. Hi, Funny Pro X. Alright, so we're going to continue. This guy goes off for a bit. The name of this video is Bullying, Threatening, and Harassing Me. I have to be scared to go to the cops alone. Warrenton, Oregon. 6 likes, 99 views. Another predator harassing me, threatening me, trying to run me off, and making false allegations. Same with Officer Burns. This is not okay. The screenshot is from today. He's in the road. He pulled over in the road to harass me and started yelling at me and accusing me of harassing people and telling me to get out of this town. Telling me I needed to leave this town and he's going to run me out of this town.
You need to run out of town right now.
You hear me? You hear that right there? He's still doing this.
You need to run away. You need to go away.
You hearing this? He's trying to bully me and harass me and intimidate me into leaving. This is not okay. He is trying to bully me and harass me, same as the police. He needs to stop.
You need to stop, motherfucker.
You hear this? He's cursing at me and bullying me and berating me, and I'm going to get his license plate number. His license plate number, he's got a red passport. Honda. License plate number VRY 975. And he is threatening me with violence.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you.
He is threatening me with
I'm
violence.
telling you right now, you need to get the fuck out of this town.
You hear this? This man will not stop harassing me. He pulled over to harass me, and now he's threatening me and intimidating me.
Can I talk to you for a second?
He is wanting to get his voice heard after he pulled over to threaten me. And now he wants to call names. All right, I did not ask for this. I did not ask for this.
You asked for this.
This guy right here will not leave me alone. I did nothing to him, but he is down here harassing me. Get away from me. Get away from me. You are making it unsafe. You are threatening me and harassing me. I feel unsafe, 100%. See, the difference here, you see how this man is treating me versus how I treated that lady there at First Steps. Which one of us is harassing people? Which one of us is threatening people? Which one of us is intimidating people? Which one of us is going places that they shouldn't be to harass innocent and at-risk adults? This guy is a sicko. You just got out of your vehicle after threatening to assault me. Back up.
I threatened to assault you.
Back up.
When did I threaten to assault you?
You also said you was going to run me out of town. Back away from my vehicle.
You need to get the fuck
back
out.
away. Now you see, I can't back out of that. Are you going to make me leave?
You've been harassing people.
I have not harassed anyone.
Right.
I have not. Back up. Leave me alone.
You have been.
Leave me alone. Back up. Stop harassing me. Leave me alone. Back up. Stop harassing me. Back up. Back up. Leave me alone. Back up. Leave me alone. Nobody asked you to stop and harass me. Go away and leave me alone. Go away. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Stop harassing me. Stop cursing at me. Stop. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. All right, so January. Let me tell you about this. January, what was it? 2017? Some guy claiming that he was Natalie Bollinger's boyfriend was calling me up and threatening to kill me. And you know what? I was in Chapel, Nebraska. I was literally screaming at the top of my lungs at Tim Beeson. Screaming from inside of my apartment. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave my family alone. Stop threatening me. Stop threatening my family. Stop. 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 But no doesn't mean no when a man says it. When a woman plays victim, men like these, let me show you this man's face. Well, actually, we'll finish playing this first. We'll let the whole altercation play out. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
You go back over there and video anything right now?
Leave me alone! 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 Leave me alone!
What kind of fucking douchebag are you?
Leave me alone!
Why would I want to leave you?
Leave me alone! 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 VRY. I didn't catch the last part of it, but I definitely said it. That was yesterday. Now let's go to today. Let's see, which one was it today? We're looking for one with Ryan in it. Oh, here's some evidence from my little sister. Oh, come on. Come on, zoom in. Maybe if I shake it a bit, it'll zoom in. Anyway, it's from my sister. It says, that guy from Colorado said he'd hurt Destiny if I said anything to the cops about him being here. It's my little sister. You guys don't care about that. Let's see. Evidence of Clatsop County mandated reporters' systemic abuse. Let's see. Trying to turn in bad cops, Warrenton, Oregon. There definitely is some stuff there. At the library, recording for my safety, is still trying to get help. Hopefully Ryan is ready. Wasn't sure if he said 3 or 3:30. This is the one.
Sean?
Yep.
Hi. My name is Cheryl, and I'm the county homeless liaison. The county here.
I used to do that in Boulder.
Did you do that in Boulder?
I did.
I work out of Classic Community Action, which, works towards housing and things.
Now, there's some important stuff that these people who want to push the housing need to listen to. It's important that they not interrupt me as I'm trying to explain something, but she's just going to do that repeatedly. I'm also literally, this is exactly at the time that I'm supposed to be talking to Ryan, so that Ryan can help advocate for me, so that when I have to talk to people like this alone, that they're not able to talk over me like this. Now, this lady was very nice. I'll admit that much. But what she didn't do is anything about the abuse at all. It wouldn't take much at all for them to allow me an interview room. They got plenty of meeting rooms, and all of these city offices, all of them have meeting rooms. How difficult it is to allow me one of those? What do they do if you're a rape victim and you go in? They allow you one of those rooms. Claire herself said that this is worse than rape, and I agree with her, and she's not the only one who said that. All right, I forgot I don't have enough grip to pull out a hair with that hand. Got a hair sticking up here that's, don't matter. Now, this, mind you, is after they've already betrayed their trust in this situation.
No, that's not what I was saying.
She's going to literally restate everything that I said in a different way, a different meaning, and keep on pushing this stuff like a crackhead. No, these people aren't trying to help me. It's collusion. They're trying to give the illusion that they're trying to help me, but the illusion's up. I have hundreds of phone calls into you idiots.
Enduring long-term abuse. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and I need
let's go to the very
pay
beginning.
attention to that so that it would not.
Oh, come on. How do we make it go back to the friggin' beginning? There it goes.
Continue to happen.
Right.
Oh, come
I've already
on.
filled out housing stuff elsewhere repeatedly,
It's like
but by
3
the
hours
time that
and 40
I get
minutes long.
housing somewhere, I've already been run off somewhere else.
What county did you come from?
Tillamook, and before there I was in the Dalles, Oregon. Before that I was in Hood River, Oregon.
Do you have a housing voucher?
No, I don't. No. That's the thing, is that everybody just wants to focus on the housing, but they don't focus on any of the abuse. That includes systemic abuse, and it's nationwide.
Like domestic violence? Do you need connection with them, or?
It's a lot of different abuse. That's what I'm trying to get. There's a gentleman here who's
Been in
getting ready to
contact
help
with domestic
me.
violence.
Hopefully, he
They
said
do
at
the same
3
thing.
o'clock to 3:30, I think.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of it. There's a lot of crimes that have been committed against me, including in this town. I'm a disabled and at-risk adult. For them to literally turn everything into, all right, well, let's go to housing, then it ends up with me having to go to 7 different agencies that I fill that housing paperwork in, and I'm going to therapy all over the place. I'm sick and tired of being referred to one place to another, and for people to lie and say that I don't want this and I don't want that when they try to communicate with others, because that's not the situation. The situation is I'm tired of wasting time on more housing and stuff, because I've already been through housing over and over and over again, and there are situations with housing that make it difficult to get housing.
So what's your number one
She
need,
cuts me
son?
off before I can tell her that, and she wants to ask me, what's your number one? How about you listen to what's going on? How about you let me finish my explanation of why I can't get into housing? How about you find out about the fact that I had to deal with this in Chapel, Nebraska? They did this to me 11 times, 13 times overall, between the locking me up on false charges and the taking me to mental institutions. In every one of those cases, they coordinated with other jurisdictions to have me harmed. Other law enforcement agencies to have me harmed. And you get to hear very plain and clear what this is like. I called the sheriff's department and he played stupid. He claimed that he was going to get a hold of them and make sure they got a hold of me. Oh, they didn't? They didn't get a hold of me, did they? No, they didn't. Let's continue playing this. This lady's just going to keep on doing this fucking fantasy bullshit. What's your number one... Hey, stop changing the fucking subject. If she'd have listened, she'd have known that I had to literally break windows to try to get cops in Chapel, Nebraska to do their jobs. Literally had to. Because Chris Kurth just wouldn't lay off of his shit. Neither would Bob. Just wouldn't lay off of his shit. Just wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. Leslie Snell's husband was involved in that abuse before Leslie started working for the Dual County Sheriff's Department. I got evidence of that too. But right now what we're focused on, I guess, is here in Oregon. When I broke that window, that made it so that I can't get housing unless I have had 2 years of steady rental history. But that lady didn't hear any of that. She was too busy with this fucking what the hell ever. This is why you need a friend or family member who's actually going to listen. Not do this stuff. This is entirely dismissive of the victim. Yeah, I'm fine with filling out the housing paperwork. That's not a problem. But somebody needs to be there. Ryan was going to be there. That's who I was waiting on. I tried to tell her about abuse. She cut me off. I tried telling her about the housing thing. She cut me off.
Number one need right now is for you to listen to why I can't get housing and why it's difficult to get housing.
Right.
It's because I had to literally break windows to try to get somebody to do something about abuse that I was enduring, including threats, harassment, and assaults in Nebraska over a woman who was killed in Colorado that somebody else killed. Now, just yesterday, I had people out here screaming at me and threatening me. I had the cops threatening me and harassing me yesterday morning over a situation that I don't know what happened. What I know is that as soon as somebody starts playing stupid, I start listening to the fact that they're playing stupid, and I see my way out, because the next thing that they do after they play stupid is play victim. Well, it didn't matter either way, because even though I hadn't gone there since the 5th, the one and only time that I'd ever been there to meet them, but then they wanted to, there was a situation where I was harassed by the cops, and I had to deal with that. The cops harassed me at First Steps over there, and I went to them for help, and I'm tired of getting sent around from one place to another for them to send me to another and another and another and another. Nobody does anything about the abuse that I'm enduring or why I'm enduring that abuse. And a lot of that comes down to nobody wants to look at evidence.
There's a guy calling himself Jason Godowski. He's typing on my channel. He typed, "How's your Special Olympic medal? You have mental defective. You have the mind of a child." And then this one says, "Messages held for review. You have Down syndrome too." You see, this is the kind of abuse that I endure. On the bright side, unlike that guy in real life who wanted to threaten me and harass me, Jason Godowski, well, I can block him on my YouTube channel. I can't block him in real life. Let's continue.
Lady who was at the, God, what's the name of the hospital in Seaside? Providence Hospital.
Were you working with Christina?
No, see, that's the thing, is that I've literally made hundreds of calls just in the last week. Hundreds of telephone calls. I don't know who I've called. I'm having to do it all by myself from inside of the vehicle. Meanwhile, I'm having to deal with people like that guy yesterday who came by and wanted to threaten me and harass me. I got a recorder on my YouTube channel. Matter of fact, I want to go inside right now and grab that so that I can actually show you. Yes, I do need housing, but I need emergency housing where I can sit down with my stuff and actually turn in the police officers in this town.
Right.
And in the last one,
unfortunately, in this county, there is no emergency housing besides.
Now, another thing is, they could allow me one of those interview rooms. You know, when a woman is raped, they have a room that they can take you to, that you can sit down there in peace and quiet, and write down what happened and get an investigation started. With this lady and many of the other places that I've gone, I don't get that far. The police know that they're supposed to, but they don't. They send me off to mental health instead.
Helping Hands is an emergency housing. It's raping of homeless people.
Right, and
Do you know how much money that you probably do know how much money they take?
I do, but
See, she does agree that Helping Hands is raping homeless people. $400 a month. Holy hell. Plus, you got to go to all those meetings, whether you're on drugs or not. Meanwhile, they don't want you if you're not on drugs.
that's all that's available here.
That's not availability.
I know, it's a sad situation, John.
See, she knows. She knows. All these people know, and what are they doing about it? They're certainly not doing their jobs as mandated reporters. And that's the thing with this housing lady. I've got a bunch of housing papers in all over the place. The problem is, all right, let's imagine I get housing here. All right, let's say I get housing here in Clatsop County, okay? Then I'm in Clatsop County, still having to deal with the Clatsop County Sheriff's Department and the Clatsop County Police Department. And people like those folks over there, Ashley and Brandy, over there at the First Steps. Or what about that guy in the red vehicle? I have to worry about all of these predators now because these people didn't coordinate together when I first got here. See, Brandy's job and Ashley's job was to get a hold of a police officer, of course, and see that the right thing is done. I explained that I was afraid of police officers when I first went in there. And why? I explained that my disabilities, my physical disabilities, are primarily from abuse by police officers.
Not just a sad situation. I've got hundreds of people reported having to go through the same thing. The fact is, we're being victimized by the public, and I have to deal with more of it than most. Instead of, blowing it off like it's no big thing, it is a big thing.
It's a big thing. Are you a veteran?
No, I'm not. That's the thing about the abuse that I'm going through. Is
She does agree that it's a big thing, but what are they doing about it?
more housing and more.
What are they doing about it? More housing, more housing, more housing. I can't get housing until I've had a rental history for at least 2 years, solid. I can't do that on $822 a month, especially when people like Bob rip me off for so much. And people like my little sister rip me off for so much. People like Dallas Richmond rip me off for so much. That money was well worth it if it kept my evidence safe, but it absolutely did not.
Housing and more housing, that's not doing any good. My life is at risk in this town now because nobody did anything when I first got here. I was pushed off from the last place. What they did in the last place was also felonious. But unlike most people, I record it so that it's actually documented. The problem is that I have to get a civilian. None of this works without civilian oversight. It ends up being a bunch of mandated reporters saying that they can't report nothing and they didn't hear nothing.
Well, unfortunately, Sean, it's Friday afternoon.
That's right. Always postpone it till Friday.
You've reached out to Providence Hospital.
Yeah, I was going to tell you about the situation.
I work with them, and I can come out on Monday.
She works with them. That's right. And we have recordings with them too, don't we? Of course we do. I'm smarter than the average bear. I've got recordings of them playing stupid as well. That's the thing, is that it's pretty friggin' universal. Their job is pretty simple. When I come to them about abuse, they're supposed to get a hold of law enforcement right away, and they're supposed to work together. What did Providence want to do? Pawn me off on 5 other places. What did First Steps want to do? Pawn me off on 5 other places. What did the police want to do? Pawn me off on mental health. Of course, when I explain, hey, I'm disabled, I need help, they say stuff like, oh, well, you seem cognitive to me. Of course, that wasn't the officers here, was it? That was Loffman. the one in Tillamook who likes to sexually harass women. We got recordings about that too. That's Ashley Farnsworth. There's also a female officer who worked there. I believe Candace was also one of the people harassed by him. I'm not for certain.
I'd like to say
See, all I did is mention that I went there and you were already going off on something. I needed to explain to you that there are major problems there. I've already gone there.
we have a program called Bridges, building better outcomes through bridges. It's a good program.
See, she's still going off on her stuff, and she's wanting to send me to another program. Fine, but we can work on this program, but you actually have to work with me, not last minute it on a Friday when I'm supposed to meet somebody who's going to help me to talk to you and communicate this effectively. Hopefully somebody who will explain that talking over this situation is not going to improve it.
And her and I are really, working towards finding solutions for people.
Well, that's the thing is that it ends up being you telling me a lot of details, but I really haven't got to say much, and now I'm starting to get afraid to speak because you're going to interrupt me with something that you feel is important, that it's important for me as an autistic adult to be able to have a safe place where I'm not victimized the way that I was yesterday and on the 5th and since. Where I'm not victimized the way I was until. I don't do drugs and I don't do alcohol, but I'm sent to peer support when mandated reporters have a mandated job to do. By law, they have to do that job. And instead of talking over me and trying to change the subject and send me in 400 directions and housing this and housing that and work with this person and work with that person, no, when it comes to mandated reporting, it's supposed to be done right away. And they're supposed to take it seriously, and they don't. Just me. That's why the gentleman who was here to help me, I was very much wanting to meet with him before having to talk to anybody because I literally will just get talked over.
So it's about 3:30. You're meeting him at 3:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I come check back in with you on Monday?
Yes, ma'am, if I'm still here, but the safety issue because of the police and because of the issues with the general public and their crap, it makes it very unsafe for me. There should have been a guardian or someone of that sort to help me a long time ago. I got disability in October of 2016. That's when it was going back to, but nobody did anything about any of the abuse over it. Like, sure, I'm disabled, but magically I'm not disabled when people want to abuse me.
I don't want you to miss your appointment, and I will come out and meet you on Monday.
What was your name?
I'm Cheryl.
All right, Cheryl.
Obviously, I won't remember her name. I got too much stuff to worry about, and I'm meeting too many people. I keep calling Josh Chris because, well, the guy that I was talking to in Tillamook was Chris. So I'm thinking about Chris. I'm also talking to Josh and and talking about Josh. And it's something where I'm trying to remember people's names and there are just too many. Let's fast forward this. Obviously, and that I'm trying to get.
They see it happen to
all right,
someone
here's
else,
Josh.
they look the other way. Then it happens to them, like,
558.
why won't anybody help me? Yeah.
Maybe it'll start about here.
Housing like crackheads. Trying to put words in my mouth, and I heard this, and I heard that. How about you hear the words out of my mouth instead of telling me what you heard? How about instead of making decisions based on what somebody else told you, someone else's rendition, you hear it from the horse's mouth? Instead of continually and perpetually hurting me and others.
My phone was overheating.
I'm not allowed to show any emotion whatsoever, but people are allowed to show emotion.
Robin Snar 22.
That's one of the things that shows me that
Where is it?
I'm not a human being.
Not a Robinson. Just sounded weird with my door closed, I guess.
That's how it really is. A whole country full of cowards. Why are poor people poor? Seems to me it's because they're cowards. You ain't gonna stick up for nobody else. You ain't even gonna listen to somebody else's story, let alone look at evidence. What are you talking about? You care? That's cute. I gotta think of somewhere to go. Gotta try to make sure I can drive to wherever I need to go. Obviously showing up to show people stuff, even if you offer to pay. What happens to all my money? Goes to running around in circles for no reason. Claire, she can do something, but she needs to call them with me. This can't be Willie Mollis. I'm prettier than this man.
I just saw Ryan. That's what I was saying.
I gotta come back here for like another week because of my community service.
Yeah, I'm still talking on my YouTube channel, venting about. There's always something. It's always last minute, and I was complaining that people don't even bother to let me know they're a no-call, no-show. At least you should up.
Yeah, I told you. And then just, just like scurry away from me like a creep like you or something. Yeah.
Well, that's what I deal with pretty much everybody.
Yeah, that's what I deal with too, so that's why I didn't want to do it. It doesn't make me feel like a person. Less.
Yeah, it's a problem with people not speaking up
Sorry
with
about
me.
that.
They got to go through it too now.
Yeah.
If people stand together, they get some. The problem is most of the poor people I know are only poor because they're cowards.
Yep.
Alright, here we go.
Drive to wherever I need to go.
Maybe this time it won't beep at us.
Obviously showing up to show people stuff, even if you offer to pay. What happens to all my money? Goes to running around in circles for no reason. Claire, she can do something, but she needs to call them with me. This can't be Willie Mollis. I'm prettier than this man.
I gotta come back
Where's that
here
at?
for like another week.
5808.
Community service.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still talking on my YouTube channel, venting about. There's always something. It's always last minute, and I was complaining that people don't even bother to let me know they're a no-call, no-show. At least you should up.
Yeah, I told you. And then just, just like scurry away from me like a creep like you or something. Yeah.
Well, that's what I deal with pretty much everybody.
Yeah, that's what I deal with too, so that's why I didn't want to do it. It doesn't make you feel like a person. It makes you feel less.
Yeah, it's a problem with people not speaking up with me is they got to go through it too now.
Yeah.
If people stand together, they get some. The problem is most of the poor people I know are only poor because they're cowards.
Yep.
They see it happen to someone else and they look the other way. Then it happens to them. We're like, why won't anybody help me?
Yeah, exactly.
I helped everybody I could till I hurt my back, and then I helped everybody I could with a hurt back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And nobody's tried to help you in return?
No, they have. They just don't listen. The thing that I need is for somebody to speak up for me, because, I mean, do I seem stupid to you?
No.
Do I seem schizophrenic?
No.
All right, well, the cops pretended like I was schizophrenic, and lots of people have said, well, you're obviously not schizophrenic, so why is it the cops are calling you schizophrenic? Well, that's because I told on the cops. They got my best friend shot in the head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, I think I would too. Yeah, it's your best friend. Like,
That's the thing, we hadn't been friends for over a year before she was killed because she got busted with heroin, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't do drugs. I had to deal with the whole, well, she's not gonna tell on her dealer thing.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that I knew that her dad was molesting her and raping her and all sorts of other stuff, and I spoke out publicly. But yeah,
That's how I retaliated.
Are you still working right now?
No, I just got off.
Can I show you one little short part of one video?
Sure.
All right. Wait there, YouTube. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure I'm not going to get you in trouble.
No, you're all right.
Let me see. Go to.
All right, I think this is the
Try and
second
work
time
on the stuff in there, but I'm not going to be able to. Someone to go in and help me turn in this crap, which is better hate you for forever. Blah 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 blah. People always think that I hate them or I'm blaming them. I'm like, I do blame you for the situation that you're in. No, it's not a hate of the person, it's a hate of the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, trying to turn in bad cops, Warrenton, Oregon Library. The one.
We're going to pause this because there's a deer right over there. We see them often here and also in Astoria. Oh, there's a female right there. See if it'll zoom in. No, this thing hasn't zoomed in forever and a day. All right, we'll get back to the video.
It about 3 hours ago. It says it's still streaming. What I'm trying to do is all right. So live videos, and the one last night. It's called bully, threatening, and harassing.
He started harassing me and cursing at me. It took me a minute to get this thing going. I need help. I need help from this kind of harassment.
That guy pulled up. He pulled up and just started threatening me, yelling at me, and telling me he was going to do this and do that. Some of it was to assault me, some to run me out of town. It took me almost a minute and a half to stop shaking well enough to get it started.
Pulled over. He's in the road. He pulled over in the road to harass me. And started yelling at me and accusing me of harassing people and telling me to get out of this town. Telling me I needed to leave this town and he's going to run me out of this town. You hear me? You hear that right there? He's still
Right
doing
there.
this.
Really?
Yeah.
You hear this? He's trying to bully me and harass me and intimidate me into leaving. This is not
Yesterday
okay.
morning.
He is trying to bully me and harass me, same as the police. He needs to stop. You hear this? He's constantly bullying me and berating me. And I'm going to get his license.
You're lucky that dude didn't have a pistol on him or something. People down here carry guns.
I'm not afraid of guns. I'm afraid they won't.
Dude.
Then he says he's not.
That is threatening and violence.
Yeah, well, this happens everywhere I go.
And now he wants to call names. Alright, so I did not answer this. I did not answer this. This guy right here will not leave me alone. I did nothing to him, but he is down here harassing me. Get away from me. Get away from me. You are making it unsafe. You are threatening me and
I
harassing
was stuck between the tree and the thing there. I can't run across against the rocks. I was stuck. And that's, what do they call that? Illegal imprisonment. Arrested for having Tourette's syndrome, or for people like this, and I tell them to leave me alone.
Stop cursing at me! Stop! Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
kill.
How long is this going on?
An hour. Well, it's not just an hour of that. It goes on for about another 5 minutes because he threatened a couple more times. He mostly tries to insinuate that I'm killing people and stalking people and stuff like that. The same stuff I have to deal with starting with Natalie. And I have to deal with that literally everywhere I go. So some of the other stuff in here is like other people that are going through it, like my friend Claire. Oh, what happened there? I accidentally pressed the button, apparently. But yeah, this is the place that they're harassing me over. I haven't been there since the 5th. So I make videos about it. And that video is called, by the time I'm able to turn it in and get my computer up and running, like the kids came in and they were really loud. And then there's, alright, this is Alicia Bond, Natalie's twin sister. Yeah. But there's also Claire Jordan, and her voice. And like, obviously I'm not the only one going through it. She said she got the balls to go through and do something, but this is her. She's definitely afraid for her kids.
This is the part where he lets me know I already played that for him.
Showed me this one yesterday. Yeah.
There's also the threats against my sister and a lot of other creepy stuff. Like, that's the thing is that, like, when you're saying your mom was afraid, like, yeah, a lot of people are afraid.
Yeah.
The problem is that people aren't standing together to speak up. They're just trying to talk each other into not helping anybody else out and complaining that nobody helps them out.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up in this situation. That's how my sister ended up screwed over.
Really?
Yeah. I was sticking up for everybody and fighting for everybody's rights, but nobody fought for mine. Once I hurt my back, they forgot I exist.
Really?
That's better.
Well, and a lot of people offered to help me the way that I needed, but when somebody's being abused and they're at risk, somebody to turn it in with them right away. And instead of, saying, oh, we'll go by yourself, that literally never works. If I go to the hospital by myself, I'm screwed. If I go to the police station by myself, I'm screwed. I go to mental health by myself, I'm screwed.
Yeah, you're messed up either way. Yeah, I know what you mean. It sucks.
Need a friend or family.
I fucking wish I could help you, but I will get kicked out of my home. I can't do that.
Well, I don't want you getting kicked out of your home for standing up to the cops.
Yeah.
You think you could do me a favor, though, and help me to carry some of my stuff out of the library?
Sure.
All right. Will your mom be angry about that?
No, I don't think she really cares.
All right, so we're gonna go. I think it's probably about 30 minutes back. Maybe this is the time. No. Sorry about that.
If it weren't for systemic abuse, I would have that.
Come on now.
This is why assisted termination of life should be legal in the United States. For anybody who's called mentally ill, they should be allowed the option. I literally need somebody to actually listen and understand and understand. If I have to call them alone, I'm going to get screwed.
Alright, that's the first one. 13 minutes in.
Guardian or someone of that sort to help me a long time ago. And I literally need somebody to actually listen and understand If I have to call them alone, I'm going to get screwed like I do every time.
12:14, maybe that's.
why they won't just kill me. Like, that would be a lot more humane.
Because they do. System.
I guess I have to go back a little bit further. This is at 11:55. I guess he starts off 10:43 maybe.
Like, straight up saying that she did all these drugs and she didn't.
All right, so it's a little further back.
Oh my God, dude. I about had a heart attack.
Oh no, I'm still here. I'm just
Cool.
So I guess
That lady, she come by
9:30
and
or
started,
so on this video.
started bugging me about the housing thing. And I'm like, I don't understand why people don't listen to me when I say I need someone there with me to explain it. And then, like that lady, I'm trying to explain to her, hey, I'm supposed to meet somebody. And she just wouldn't stop talking about her own thing. I got it. Obviously, I'm recording right now, you know. I make sure I do for my safety. They got a bunch of kids in there, so. Oh. I thought you said you were going to help me at 3:30.
I would, but
That's all right. If you can't, you can.
I can't. Because my mom, for some reason, told so the girl that I'm talking to told my mom about this. And so my mom is telling me if I do this, I'm getting kicked out and I won't have a place to stay. And I'm not, I can't.
You help me?
Yeah, because she doesn't like me going against the cops because she's terrified of them because I was taken away multiple times because of my mom's friend lying pretty much to them. Like, straight up saying that she did all these drugs and she didn't. And so now I can't do anything and it's stupid. Because I've been telling my mom that's nothing's gonna happen. I'm over the age of 18. They can't take me away. I'm my own adult. But they still won't. I don't know.
I was trying not to make funny noises. I couldn't speak. I was trying not to cry like a little bitch. Seven years
I
of
don't
this.
understand why they won't just kill me. Like, that would be a lot more humane.
Because they do. The system is corrupt and people. I'm sorry, somebody is blowing my phone up.
It's his mom.
Who is calling me while I'm at work? Not too much, just pretty good, just talking.
Getting away from all the noise. They're doing a magic show.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was awkward. I don't know what you spammed me for.
Maybe they'll watch my channel and see half your face on it.
That's okay.
I get treated like I'm crazy for saying everyone's afraid of the cops.
Oh, no, you're not. I can vouch for that. I'm 18 years old. I haven't seen that much stuff, but I know damn well people are afraid.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest issue is they're playing real heavy on that. I got harassed yesterday or last night. I got that on camera. I needed somebody to go work the police station with me and help me turn that in. That's the problem with not having anybody and being forced to move over and over and over again. Like this. All people will do is change the subject, and I literally need somebody to actually listen and understand and understand. If I have to call them alone, I'm going to get screwed like I do every time. That's the problem with being a disabled adult. If you're out on the streets, you're free money for them. got all my stuff strewn out on the table in there. I gotta pack it all up and put it in my car. Yeah, it happens. Everybody's sorry. On the bright side, you're not dead or anything creepy like that.
Dead bodies suck.
Yep. Thanks, Ryan. That's all right.
I suppose we should go through all of this. There's a lot of stuff that happens in there. We can basically just scroll through and press play every so often.
Got everything else pretty well out of here, though. Alright, cool.
Here's where the magic shows happen, I think. This might be after the magic show.
See that guy standing there? He runs out of there. Smack her so hard you can hear it.
The video is called Jamie Again. It's on my YouTube channel. It happened in the Dalles. What I'm looking for is the part where I'm speaking with Chris. Nope, I think it's further along. I think it's somewhere around here.
Because I really needed to get a bunch of stuff put together, and it's the only day of the week I got enough time.
Alright, so this is the part with Chris.
Yeah.
So we'll try to find the beginning of the conversation. Obviously it's not there. Maybe it's there. My computer was downloading literally all day long. So at 3 hours in, just about, I start cleaning up my computer, so it's probably at about 3:01 or 3:02. So we'll try to fast forward at that. 3:02.
Well, I got like 22 minutes to spare.
Alright, and it's uploaded or downloaded or updated, whatever it was you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. My computer was doing its own thing, and I just had to let it.
I feel that for sure.
That stinks, because I really needed to get a bunch of stuff put together, and it's the only day of the week I got enough time.
Sure.
But
I will say, we are open tomorrow till 2, 10 to 2.
Yeah, it's really not safe for me to be here, especially after that guy yesterday, and he's not the first one who's done that. Most of the time they just drive by and yell stuff out the window, like freak, or call me the F word, trying to pretend like I must be a homosexual or something, and people are not very accepting in this area.
They are, especially this town. Warrenton is a highly... I'm not from Warrenton, I'm from Astoria, which is a little bit better, but not much. It's a highly conservative, it's very, nothing wrong necessarily with that all the time, but very far right ideology with people here, which is why our library almost shut down in May, because we are funded by property tax in the city of Warrenton, and so every 5 years we have to get the city residents have to vote
to pay for us out of their property tax. Otherwise, we don't have funding. And we almost failed because we did fail the levy. We failed the vote in November of last year, so we had one more chance in May, and we passed it luckily. So we have funding for another 5 years. But people just don't see the value of libraries in this town because they think that libraries are just trying to indoctrinate children into being homosexual, which is not what our goal is. Our goal is to share information with everyone. If homosexuals want to come in here, they are more than welcome to, and we have books for them. You know, it's like that's how we have a question. We have a book for everybody.
You won't be offended if a straight person comes in and reads a book, will you?
Nope.
See, that right there is how, in my opinion, how it should be. But people aren't inclusive of...
Well, and if I go, across the country, the drag shows and libraries, which they're not drag shows, they're reading books. And people think they're like the drag shows you see on bars and stuff, but they're completely different things. These people aren't coming in here half naked reading books to kids. They're coming in full dresses reading books to kids. But we will never do a drag reading time here because we know that our city will not appreciate it and we will not be safe. So
that's one of the things that I've been trying to tell people when I move to an area is they have a lot of ideas about me running around, but there's also the fact that it does make not just me, but anybody around me unsafe. There's also with the stuff that's on the internet about me and trying to paint me as some sort of a monster. Somebody might take that as a target of opportunity. That's one of the things with Natalie that a lot of people brought up. Like, hey, Joseph Michael Lopez might have just seen her post, had a big crush on her, been stalking on her for a while, and took it as a target of opportunity when you pretended you were a creeper.
Yeah.
And, I have to worry about that anytime somebody pretends that I might hurt them. That guy yesterday was yelling at me. The police came and harassed me yesterday morning.
Well, I will say, just full disclosure, that
Thank goodness.
this library is a city department. So, I'm a department head for the city of Warrenton, and so I have meetings every week in City Hall.
And yeah, they had a meeting at City Hall about me. Isn't that cute? And he's going to explain that it was literally the day before the cops came over and started harassing me. And also, they tried to insinuate that they've had lots of interactions and altercations with me. Well, yeah, they're called staged. They know I'm trying to turn them in. And once I am able to get the stuff that was on this little audio recording device that is now on my computer. That's right. This thing is fresh. It's charged up fully on battery. And there's nothing on it, so I can record even more audio stuff. Now I can actually record things while I'm offline. Even better, since everything else seems to be full. Now he's going to start explaining the situation, and you're going to be able to understand immediately how this collusion happened. See, while they're playing stupid about the sheriff doesn't investigate anything, well, you know what? They won't let me do anything. They won't let me talk to the sheriff, and none of these other places are going to allow me to do anything because the sheriff won't listen, and neither will his deputies. They showed up to bully me and harass me multiple times.
The chief of police, he's also department head. So,
do you have his name?
I do. It's Matthew Workman.
Workman?
Yep. Matthew Workman.
He wouldn't happen to be related to Jess Workman from Tacoma, would he?
I don't know. I know he's got a daughter that's in the police force in Seaside, but I don't know if he's related to anyone elsewhere. But yeah, so he's the chief of police. He has been for a long time. So of course, he likes to keep the department heads all aware of what's going on with new people in town. So we do know, about like the first step stuff.